Ever wondered what would happen if you put too much paint on your Gelli Plate or not enough? Yeah, well, I've wondered that too. So let's have an experiment, eh? And all will be revealed. So I've got a stencil here, one of my new stencils that I bought, titanium white, Naples yellow deep and copper Liquitex. Just pick those two colours up, no reason other than I've got quite a bit in there to play with. So let's get going first and put a little bit of this copper down. So what I'll try and do is I'll just put a thin smear. I've put some tape over this paper here so I can ensure that it doesn't move around too much, and also it gives me an idea where to put the paper on top when I pull the print. So I've only put a really thin smearing of paint on there, maybe not enough, but that's the whole point for today, is to see how little paint we can get away with, to see if anything will actually be transferred onto the paper. So giving this a good push through. I'm not expecting to have too much paint on the paper, but there you go. It just shows you, doesn't it? I thought that wouldn't be enough paint to show through onto the, or transfer onto this sheet of paper, but obviously I was wrong. I can only just see a little bit of the ghost print underneath. Let's put this Naples yellow on, and again, this has got to be a very, very, very thin smearing indeed. That's the absolute joy of working with a gel plate. You really think that you know what you're going to get, and then more often than not it turns out not to be exactly as you envisaged it was going to be. So let's see what happens with this. There we are, just a very thin outline. It's just the outer edges of the stencil that's been left there, but it's quite a subtle, interesting print. So carry on, and I will use these colours again and see what we achieve next time. Okay, so let's go again. I'll go with the bronze to begin with, and I'll try and put a little bit more on. Don't want to put too much on, but certainly more than I did on the last pull. Can you see how it's got all these marks on it? It's really telling me that there's too much paint on there. And if I put this stencil on, it's going to slide everywhere. So I'll just roll that off. And put this back on. Another piece of paper. Try and square it up as best I can. Oops. I've got this Baron now. Just have problems with my fingers, so this Baron is a real aid for me. Enables you to press down a little bit harder. But also, if you've got too much paint on your gel plate, if you've been a little bit heavy-handed, you'll find that when you press down, the stencil will wiggle around a little bit too much. There we go. So can you see now? Obviously the same colours that I've used, same stencil, same paint, colours, paper, everything, and we've got one really light rendition of the bronze and a more bold pattern there. So let's take this stencil off, put it down quietly over there, and this might need to just dry for a second or two. Okay, this is dry now, and I'll put some of the Naples yellows on the top. Again, this is where you have to be quite careful with the amount of paint you put on, and I can probably see that I've put too much on. I just need a thin smearing of the last layer of paint, otherwise it won't lift the layers underneath up and off the gel plate. Have to be careful now that I don't take too much off. Put that on top there, lining it up as best I can. Just have a quick peep to see what's happening underneath. So there we have it. I've used the same colours, same method, same paper, and really it's down to how much paint you apply. So I hope that's been helpful. Sometimes you want a very faint pattern like this for your project, sometimes you want something a little bit more bolder. So that's the results of my experiment. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.